guys, it's Kristin and Tarkin here from
Hello.
Rise High. Just coming to you today as we've had a few inquiries recently about some media articles that have come out in the last couple of days. A few people are starting to panic a little bit because the media's picked up on one particular economist who has come out saying that they think that the cash rate is going to increase by a whole % over the next 6 months. So we just wanted to come to you today and have a bit of a chat about, I guess, not panicking and what are some of the things that you can potentially do if you are really worried about interest rates at the moment. So I think the first thing to remember is that this is the opinion of just one economist. So an economist from Deutsche Bank has made a prediction that he thinks that the cash rate's going to increase to about 4.1%, which is a whole % higher than what it currently is. So based on his prediction, if you've got a mortgage of say $500,000, they're talking about an increase of $400 per month in repayments for someone. But I think the key thing to remember here is don't panic. This is just one person's opinion, and forecasts really do vary from economist to economist, so there are really differing opinions out there. Really, no one can predict where rates are heading. And I guess we just need to remember things that we can do to give us some peace of mind. So Tarkin, do you have some suggestions for our clients around, if they are worried about rates, what are some of the things that they can do?
Yeah, thanks, Kristin. And I guess to reiterate, it is one economist's viewpoint. And the media, as we know, media do like to jump on the things that are going to create headlines. So not saying it's not going to get there, but as Kristin said, a lot of the economists, a lot of the forecasters are seeing, sort of another 0.5% is a bit more closer to the peak.
Yeah.
Which is still something, certainly what we've been, used to over the past couple of years. But you need to realise that, where we sit now is still actually under the median average interest rate for a 30-year loan term in Australia. So we're still actually under that currently.
We've had it too good for too long, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, I guess there are a couple of things that have been coming up with most of my meetings, certainly I think a few of yours. The fixed versus variable discussion. At the moment, obviously the fixed is sitting, between 0.5% and 70 basis points over the variable, and there are reasons for that, Kristin.
Yeah, absolutely. So generally the fixed rate does work ahead of the variable rate cycle. So fixed rates try and predict where rates are going to head in the next 2 or 3 or 5 years' time. And I guess it is a guess at the end of the day. But at the moment, you are really looking at paying a premium if you are looking at fixing in your rate.
And the other thing is, it's probably a budgeting tool as well that a lot of people use. So if you're someone who is, the first Tuesday of every month going to check the radio at 2:30-ish, and with shaky hands and sweaty palms, then wondering what the RBA is going to do, you may be one of those people who might feel a bit more comfortable with set repayments over a period of time.
Yeah.
Yes, you might be paying a bit of a premium because the banks ultimately are crystal balling what's going to happen, but that might add comfort to the anxiety that traditionally flows around money and ultimately what we do. The variable, personality type is the one who can always retrospectively look and say, well, if I was on a fixed rate, even if the RBA does put it up 0.5%, I might still be this much better off.
Yeah.
So there's no way to really beat the system per se. It's just working around what's going to work for you and what's going to make your life and budgeting easier. I mean, it's as simple as that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess fixing is a tool that you can use for peace of mind and for budgeting. We never encourage clients to fix to try and beat the market because the best economists in the world never really get it right. Some do, and they will ride on that forever and ever, saying that one time they predicted the correct rate and where rates were going to end.
Yeah.
But I think if you're nervous about rates, fixing is the way to go, realising that you will be paying slightly more in the short to medium term potentially.
But understanding that budgeting might be more important to your cash flow and your anxiety levels than what a variable might be. So I think the things to point out, if we go through a dot point, Kristin, is that yes, this is one economist's viewpoint. Most of them are predicting around possibly 0.5% being the peak, and some of them are even saying the end of 2023 that it might start to drop again. again, crystal balling, we don't actually know. But it's going to be working out and working with your broker to work out what the best way forward is for you, just to reduce the anxiety around home loan repayment so you can enjoy life.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things, if you kind of sit somewhere between that, I feel like I can manage a bit of a capacity of an increase, but I don't want to lock myself into a fixed rate because, I may have some changes coming up in the future. Maybe forcing yourself to pay a little bit more, sticking with a variable rate, but maybe paying a little bit more in the meantime will help you build up a buffer and help you absorb any future rate rises, and I guess get you used to the feel of maybe paying a little bit more if rates do go up. So that's definitely something else that you can explore.
And certainly as a final point, I'm aware of the time, but for those coming off a 2% fixed rate in the next 6 to 9 months, that advice is massive. You need to, get around what will be incurred once you come off that. We're obviously always here to help, but realistically, there's going to be a 2 to 3% possible difference between what you're on now and what you're coming out into.
Yeah.
So we're more than happy to help with anyone with their strategy, with budgeting, moving into that point. But yeah, that's a massive thing, certainly for the ones who haven't actually been affected as much by the current rises.
Yep, fantastic. So I guess our message is don't panic. We're here to help you. Have a look at our video that we've produced. We'll put a link in the comments about the pros and cons of fixed versus variable, because that will give you some more education and knowledge around, what's going to best suit you. But yeah, we hope that helps in your decision making, and keep in touch if you have any other questions.